Let me proceed towards Azure Data Engineering. Let's see what is this Azure Data Engineering and what is the demand of this Azure Data Engineering in the market. What is the career prospects that you can have in this field? Let's proceed further. Okay. First of all, let's talk about this Azure Data Engineering. If I talk about this Azure Data Engineering, it is a mix of, many of you might be aware and many of you might not be aware. Okay. So if you talk about this Azure Data Engineering, this is mix of two things. Okay. Azure Cloud plus data engineering. Azure Cloud plus data engineering. It means we'll be learning data engineering over this Azure Cloud. Okay. And this Azure Cloud is a Microsoft product. This Azure Cloud is a Microsoft product. There are Microsoft Cloud product. There are many cloud service provider in the market. If you talk about some major cloud providers, then we have this Azure, as I written just above. Then we have AWS, and then we have GCP. It is nothing but this is a Google product. Okay, Google product, Google Cloud Platform, Google product. This AWS is Amazon product, Amazon Web Services, and of course, this Azure is Microsoft product. These are some of the famous cloud platforms that are available in the market. We have many other cloud platforms also, like we have cloud platform by Oracle also available in the market. There are many other companies that offer cloud services to its vendors. So as I said, this Azure Data Engineering can be bifurcated in two parts, Azure Cloud and Data Engineering. Okay, so here we'll be learning data engineering over Microsoft Azure. Okay. If you talk about this data engineering skill set, okay, if you talk about this data engineering skill set, then I have this graph in front of you, okay, to show you that this is one of the one of the highest demand technology in the market. You see, there are many technologies here that has been compared with data engineers. Okay, backend developer, senior data scientist, CRM developer, UI developer, Python developer, Android DevOps engineer, front-end cloud architect, and data engineering is at the top. Why it is at the top? Again, we will be discussing after some point of time. Why why data engineering is at the top? Again, if we see the year-wise growth of this skill set, okay, this is big data market size revenue forecast worldwide. Okay, you see year by year, the data engineering demand is increasing. Okay, you see it is never decreasing. There are various reasons that why it is increasing year by year. Again, we'll be discussing around this after some point of time. Okay, I just want to showcase that this skill set, this big data engineering or Azure data engineering, is one of the highest demanding skill set right now in the market. Okay. One more thing I want to highlight before proceeding further. Okay. You see this screenshot I have just taken right now. As you can see, I've highlighted the date and time. Okay. Just now at 3 p.m. I took this screenshot. There are these many jobs available in market for Azure Data Engineering, 75,000. These are the available jobs that are available. Okay, you can put any other job profiles like web development or front-end developer, back-end developer. You will not find these many jobs for that skill set in Naukri.com. Of course, if you need to gauge that what is the demand of any technology that you are going to learn in market, of course, what can be better platform than getting the number of, then seeing the number of jobs in from the platform where you need to search your job, right? What can be better than Naukri.com? So that's why I took this screenshot from Naukri.com platform to showcase you that this is, you see how many number of jobs are available right now for this skill set. Let me talk a little bit around this data engineering, okay? And and then we will see why its demand is increasing day by day and why data engineering on Microsoft Cloud is very good, I mean, opportunity for you to upskill yourself. Okay. As we know, the size of data, as we know, the size of data is increasing day by day, right? The size of data is increasing day by day. Size of data is increasing day by day, right? Size of data is continuously increasing day by day. Earlier, we used to have earlier we used to have mobile phones having 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM. Now we have mobile phones of 64 GB RAM, 132 GB RAM. Okay. The size is continuously increasing, right? The size is continuously increasing. Earlier we used to carry pen drive of 4 GB RAM. Now we don't carry pen drive. We carry hard drives, right? Why these things are happening? Okay. Why these things are happening? Our mobile is of 64 GB or 132 GB RAM is still the memory of my our mobile is full. Why it is happening? Because the data that is getting generated on day by day basis has increased a lot. Okay, has increased a lot. It means the velocity at which the data is getting generated, the velocity at which the data is getting generated has increased a lot. So of course, we need some storage location to store the data, right? We need some storage location to store that data, and that storage location can be any of the memory locations, right? So that's why earlier we used to use pen drive to carry your data. Now we have hard drives because the size of data has drastically increased, or it is increasing day by day. We have many platforms like we are using Facebook, we are using LinkedIn, we are using Twitter. Okay, we have variety of data on these platforms. We have YouTube. We have variety of data on these platforms, right? We have data in the format of videos. We have data in the format of images. We have data in the format of shorts. We have some text written on these platforms, right? We have data in CSV, that is data of tabular format. We have data of tabular format. Okay. We have data of tabular format. We have data in JSON format. We have data in XML format. Okay. Many kinds of data are there. The variety in which my data is getting generated, the variety at which my data is getting generated is increasing day by day. The speed at which my data is getting generated is high. Okay. Is high. The variety variety in which my data is getting generated is also high, right? We have these many varieties. There are many other varieties. I mean, the variety of data that is getting generated is now not limited to only these things. There are many other varieties in which your data is getting generated, right? Then we have this volume of data, right? Volume of data. Volume of data. Volume, again, I discussed that the size of data is increasing, right? We have terabytes of data. We have terabytes of data. Terabytes of data. We have petabytes of data. Petabytes of data. Okay. We have terabytes of data. We have petabytes of data. So these three things, velocity, variety, and volume, these three things are called three V's. Three V's of three V's of big data. These three things are called three V's of big data. Okay. Why the term big data? Because the size of data is now not limited to a smaller scale like 1 GB or 2 GB. It is in terms of terabytes. It is in terms of petabyte, and we need to handle that, right? We need to handle that. So these three things are called three V's of big data. And this diagram, this is a very famous term. Okay, three V's of big data. This diagram perfectly denoting the three V's. Okay, velocity. The velocity of data is increasing. Data is coming in batches. Data is coming in real time. That is in stream processing. Data is coming. Then we have our size of data is increasing. That is, we have data in terabytes or petabytes of size. Billions of records are there. Okay. We have variety of data is there. Variety means structured, unstructured, semi-structured data. What do I mean by this? Structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. Let me open my notepad again. Okay. So in this variety, we have a structured data is of many variety that is now it is available in the market. Okay. If I majorly bifurcate it into some subparts, then it can be bifurcated into structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. Unstructured data. Okay. If I again bifurcate it, let me write it down here, and I will ask you something. Let's see who is answering my question. Okay. Who is answering my question? Okay. So these are some of the major types of data that I discussed. Okay. Tabular format, let's suppose the data is in CSV format. Okay. We store our data into RDBMS system as well, right? RDBMS system as well, like in SQL table, SQL database. Okay. So I have written down few of the major varieties of data that you see around you nowadays. Okay. And now I'm telling that these kinds of data have been bifurcated into three kinds of major parts. Okay, structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. If I talk about structured data, okay, can anyone tell me what kind of data from this list can be put in this structured data, in the category of structured data? Can anyone tell me?
RDBMS.
Okay, what else?
CSV.
Tables,
Okay,
Excel file.
okay,
columns
PSV.
and rows tables.
okay, very good, very good. Okay, very good. Now, can you tell me what kind of data we can put in this unstructured
Audio,
kind?
video.
Videos, audios, image.
Okay, very good.
Text,
What about the text? What do you think?
unstructured,
Okay, very good. It is also an unstructured kind of data. Okay. Okay. Now tell me some examples of semi-structured data. Do you have any idea that what kind of data can be seen?
JSON, XML.
JSON,
JSON and
XML,
XML.
Very good. Very good. So the variety of data has been majorly bifurcated into these three subparts. Okay. And these are some of the examples of the kind of data that we have. There are many other varieties of data. I'm just trying to highlight that the variety of data is increasing day by day. It is too large, so we need to manage that. And of course, the different kinds of data that is getting generated had some value associated with it, right? Companies can get some information that can be beneficial for the higher management to take decision to drive the company uh, objectives, right? They can take decision based on the data that we have. But the major problem is they have dirty data with them. Okay, they have dirty data with them. They can't make use of that unless and until they clean it. Okay, they can't make use of that unless and until clean it. But how they will clean it? Okay, There are two important problems that companies face. One is storage. Okay. My laptop has 500 GB of space. Okay. My laptop has 500 GB of space, but company has suppose 1 petabytes of data. Okay. 1 petabytes of data. My laptop has 500 GB of space. Maximum what can I do? I can increase it to 1 TB of space, but I have 1 terabytes of data. How companies will be storing that data in my laptop, right? I will not be able to store, right? Similarly, I have dirty data. I need to clean it to get some insights from it, right? So for that, we need to do data processing. Okay. Data processing. We have a conventional tool with the help of which we can do processing of data, and that tool is nothing but you all would have seen, that is Excel. Okay. In this, we can easily write the formulas and we can easily calculate the data or clean the data. We can trim the data. We can do any kind of operation over data, whatever I want, right? But tell me, will will this Excel be able to process my data if I have data of size 1 petabyte? Tell me, what do you think?
No.
No, it cannot handle.
It cannot handle. Okay. So these two are the major problems that companies had, that they didn't have the capability to store data of very big size and to process data of very big size. Okay. Then came latest tools and technologies on which or with the help of which they can store high amount of data as well as they can process or clean that dirty data. Okay. These are the two major problems that companies came across. Okay, now they started searching for technologies that now what can I do? How will I be able to process data? My Excel is not capable of processing 1 petabyte of data that I have. Okay, now people started looking for technologies. Then they came across this Hadoop. Okay, then they came across this Hadoop. Okay, Hadoop came over. Hadoop processing was happening, data processing was happening, and Hadoop, in Hadoop, two things happened. Okay, one was this distributed storage. Okay, and another thing was this distributed processing. Okay, so suppose you have to process 1000 GB of data. Okay, or let's suppose we have to process 10,000 GB of data. Okay, 10,000 GB of data. Suppose we have to process 10,000 GB of data. Then what happened? This file got divided into multiple partitions. Okay, how data was getting stored in Hadoop? Like this file was getting partitioned into multiple. This data was getting partitioned into multiple partitions. I'm just assuming. Okay, like suppose this 10,000 GB of data got partitioned into 500 GB each file, and there were 20 partitions that was made. Okay, and these 500 GB of files, suppose my one laptop or one computer is capable of storing 500 GB of data. So in Hadoop, what they did, they connected 20 computers in parallel, and they started storing 500 GB of data in each of the computer. Okay, there arise the concept of distributed storage. Okay, it means your big file was bifurcated into small files, and then small files were kept in separate computers. Okay, then here only the concept of distributed processing came. Okay, there used to be map reduce jobs in Hadoop which used to process those partition data kept in 20 machines. Okay, there were something called map reduce. Okay, map reduce jobs. Okay, map reduce jobs. Map reduce jobs. These map reduce jobs were responsible for processing the data that were stored in these 20 machines in small chunks. Okay, so why I am using this word distributed processing? Because simultaneously my processing is happening across all these 20 partitions. Okay, like my data has been kept into 20 partitions. So MapReduce job used to simultaneously process these 20 partitions at single time, saving our time, because parallelly all the 20 partitions are getting processed, which is saving our overall time to process the data. I hope that these concepts are making sense to you. Now, but the problem was that in Hadoop, the distributed processing was happening in disk, that is in hard drive. Okay, distributed processing was happening in disk or in hard drive. Then came Spark into the market. Okay, then came Spark into the market. In this Spark, data processing was happening in RAM. I mean, data processing was happening in RAM, and here the data processing was happening in disk, or you can say hard disk. When I'm using the word disk, it means hard disk. Okay. In this, the data processing was happening in disk. Okay. Then came this Spark into picture. In Spark, data processing was happening in RAM. Okay. In RAM, and this became the game changer in the big data world. Okay. This became the game changer in the big data world, and now people now I mean either people have migrated from Hadoop to Spark, they're using, I mean, from MapReduce processing system to Spark processing system. Either they have migrated, or if they have not migrated, they are trying to migrate. Okay, this has become an old technology now. Okay, now this Spark came into picture. Okay, Spark came into picture. Spark came into picture, and started Spark also used the same concept, distributed storage and distributed processing. But here, in case of Spark, but here, in case of Spark, distributed processing was happening. Okay, distributed processing was happening inside RAM. Okay, distributed processing was happening inside RAM. I hope that you are understanding that what was the problem of big data, storage and data processing, and how the technologists or scientists started working on that. Like first of all, Hadoop came, then RAM became Spark became the savior, because in this data processing was happening in RAM. Okay, so I'm talking about the different innovations that was happening to handle the problem. Okay, different innovations that was happening to handle the problem. Okay, let me start talking around this storage and data processing. These are the two things around which we will be revolving in big data. Okay, let me talk about the things that will be involved for storage as well as data processing in Azure cloud. Okay, in Azure cloud. if I if I talk about Azure cloud, then we have something called Azure Data Lake. Okay, Azure Data Lake Gen 2, that, that is responsible for storage of data. Okay, we have. Can someone mute their mic? Someone's mic is open. Can. Okay, we have Azure Data Lake Gen 2 that is responsible for storage of data. We have few other storage types in Azure cloud. One is Azure Blob Storage as well. That is also responsible for storage of data. We have something called Azure Data Lake Gen 1. Okay, that is also responsible for storage of data. We have something called Azure SQL database. Okay, in Azure, these are different services which I am talking. This is also responsible for storage of data. We have something called Azure Databricks. Okay, we have something called Azure Databricks. This is responsible for processing of data. This is responsible for processing of data. And this is Azure Databricks behind which Spark runs to process the data. Okay, this is Azure Databricks behind which Spark runs to process the data. Let me tell you one important thing. Okay, this Azure Databricks is uh, not actually core service of Azure. What do I mean by this is? What do I mean by this is? This Azure Databricks can be thought of as a tie-up between Azure and Databricks. Okay, Azure and Databricks. This is a separate company. This Databricks is a separate company. Okay, and this technology is in very much demand in market. This technology is in very much demand in market, even in US, UK. Okay, this technology is becoming game changer in the big data world. Okay, let me tell you. Let me show you one Wikipedia page of Spark, and let me show you who are the founders of this Spark. Then I will tell you one thing. You see, Mathai Jaheria. Okay, Mathai Jaheria. He's a scientist. He's a professor in university in USA, and this scientist is one of the founding members of Spark. Like he's responsible for creating a Spark. And when I open this Databricks, let me show you Databricks. You see, Databricks is also, I mean, this Mathai Jaheria is also the founding member of this Databricks. Okay, you see, Mathai Jaheria. Okay, in the founders list, his name is also coming. It means the same person created this Spark. Okay, this Apache Spark. You see, Mathai Jaheria, and the same person has created this Databricks. Okay, has created the Databricks. So the Spark which I'm talking about is now integrated with the Spark which I just talked is now integrated with Databricks. Okay, Databricks is a separate company. This Databricks is used for processing of data. This Databricks is used for processing of data. Okay. If any one of you has anything to ask, they can stop me in between. Okay, if they are not getting clear picture. This
Arun,
Databricks, yes, Dinesh.
even Spark is also meant for processing of data, right?
Yes, yes. Let me tell you. I will show you. Okay. Spark is a compute engine. Databricks is a platform like where you will be writing your codes. Okay. I will show you. Just let me discuss this. Then I will show you the UI that how it looks like. Okay. Behind Databricks. Okay. Behind Databricks, Spark runs. Spark runs to process your data. Okay. Behind Databricks, Spark runs to process your data. Okay. Behind Databricks, Spark runs to process your data. Okay. Behind Databricks, Spark runs to process your data. It means whatever code you will be writing in Databricks, that code will be behind scenes, will be executed over Spark. Okay. Now, many people has doubt that Spark is a language. Is really Spark a language? Spark is a language. Is really Spark a language? The answer is no. Okay. A disclaimer I am giving is Spark is not a language. Then what is Spark? Spark is nothing. It is a compute engine. Okay. It is a compute engine. Okay. As I'm saying that Spark is used for distributed processing of data. Right here I have written Spark is used for distributed processing of data. It means it is an arrangement of computers in such a way, arrangement of computers parallelly in such a way so that we can easily process a very heavy size of data like 1 petabyte, 2 petabyte of data parallelly across multiple computers. Okay. So this setup, like how the computers are connected with each other, how computers will be communicating to each other, this setup is Spark. Okay. Spark is not any programming language. Spark is a compute engine. Okay. And this Spark, there are two things. One is called control node. Okay. And another thing is called worker node. When I'm talking about node, it simply means computer. Okay. So this Spark has two things. One is called control computer, which controls everything. And another is worker computer. There are multiple worker computers on which actually your data is processed. Okay. On which actually your data is processed. And behind this Databricks, we have a Spark. We have a Spark on which data processing take place. Okay, we have a Spark. Behind this Databricks, we have a Spark on which data processing take place. What do I mean by behind this Databricks, we have a Spark? It means we have behind this Databricks, we have some computers on which my data will be processed parallelly at a very high speed. Okay, at a very high speed. On this Databricks, we can write our code. Okay, we can write our code in multiple languages like R, okay, Python, Scala. Then we have Java. Okay. This is Databricks platform on which we can write code on any of the languages, not Java, SQL. Okay. On this Databricks, we can write our code in any of these languages, and behind the scenes, that data will be processed on Spark. Okay. Behind the scenes, that data will be processed on Spark. Let me show you one UI of that. Okay. Let me show you the UI of that how it looks like. Let me open Azure portal. Okay. Let me show you how this Databricks looks like. Okay, this is the UI of Azure Databricks. Okay, how it looks like. Let me launch it. Let me show you how it looks like. Uh, like this is my notebook. Okay, this is my notebook in which we can write our codes. And this is a cluster. This is Spark cluster on which my codes will be running. Okay, it is terminated right now, and now I am starting it. So whatever code I'll be writing here, okay, all that code will be running on this cluster. Okay, on this cluster. Right now it is turned off. It is in the right now I am trying to start it, so it is starting. So if I will run any code, now it will not run. Like I am writing here, print, how are you? How are you? And if I'm trying to execute it, see it will not run. Okay. Here you see it is showing that waiting for compute to start. Okay. Waiting for compute to start. It is waiting for these computers to start because these codes will actually be running on this computer that is behind the scenes. And on these computers only, Spark is there. On these computers that are behind this Databricks notebook, Spark is present. Dinesh, are you getting this? What I'm trying to convey?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So on these computers that are getting started behind the scenes, okay, we can create these computers, this cluster. I mean, this is called cluster. We can create these cluster again. That will be part of our course. That how we'll be creating those things. Just I wanted to highlight that this is Databricks notebook on which we can write the code. You see, right now I'm writing code in Python. I can change any of the languages. Okay, SQL, Scala, or any of the languages I can choose. And the code that I'll be writing here that will be running behind the scenes on a Spark cluster. And this is that Spark cluster on which my code will be running. Okay. So right now you see, I just wrote a simple statement, Python statement. It is not running because this cluster is turned off right now. And it now this code is waiting for this cluster to turn on. Once it will be turned on, this code will be executed. Okay. This code will be executed. It takes around 4 minutes for the cluster to get started. Okay. This was just, I wanted to show you the UI. That's why I opened this portal. Okay. So this is the UI, how Azure Databricks looks like. Okay. Okay. So as I said, Databricks is a separate company. Azure is a separate company. Azure is Microsoft company and Databricks is a separate company, right? Now both have tie-up. Okay, both have tie-up, and that product has been named as Azure Databricks. Okay, that product has been named as Azure Databricks. Okay, Azure Databricks. It means Databricks is present in Azure Cloud Platform. Okay, we have this Databricks is integrated with other cloud platforms as well. This is the demand of this Databricks technology. Like we have Databricks on AWS as well. We have Databricks on GCP as well. Okay, and of course we have Databricks in Azure. So the demand of this technology is such that is that much high that it is integrated with all of the major cloud providers that are there in the market. Okay. Now let me proceed further and let me show you what is the purpose of other services. So we have something called Azure Data Factory. Okay, this is another very famous service. Okay, this is another very famous service in which you can drag and drop the different UI features that are present there, and you can build your pipeline. The role of this Azure Data Factory is also processing of data. Okay, I told you right that the whole things will be revolving around storage and processing of data. Okay, processing of data as well as orchestration of pipelines. Orchestration of pipelines. Okay, orchestration of pipelines. I also want to show you this that how Azure Data Factory looks like. Okay, let me let me open this Azure Data Factory and let me show you that how this pipeline looks like. This is the first UI of Azure Data Factory. Okay, let me show you how the pipelines looks like. Okay, so you see these are some of the examples of pipelines that how it looks like. Okay, you see this is an example of pipeline. So here we are not writing any code. We are just these are some of the inbuilt UI activities that are present that we are just bringing here, and we are using that for our pipeline creation. Okay, for our pipeline creation. So this is how Azure Data Factory looks like. Okay, so the uses of this Azure Data Factory is for the processing of data as well as the orchestration of pipelines. Okay, as well as the orchestration of pipelines. Now we have Azure Logic app. Okay, Azure Logic app. This is for automation of some of the activities. This is not, these two things are not for storage and processing. For automation of some of the activities, okay, some of the activities. And again, we have Azure Key Vault, okay, Key Vault for storing passwords,
Arun,
secret.
sorry to
Huh,
interrupt.
huh, yes.
Azure Logic App automation of some activities means example anything?
Okay, like if you suppose you have any requirement, like you want to move your data from SharePoint to data lake. Okay, so that movement can be done using Logic app. That can be achieved through this. Are you
Okay.
getting?
Sorry, repeat again. So moving data from
From SharePoint to Azure Data Lake. Or suppose
SharePoint.
suppose you want to trigger an email, okay,
Mhm,
for
mhm,
pipeline success or pipeline failure. So
mhm.
for that you can create workflows in Azure Logic app.
Okay.
That whom to what users you need to
You mean
send a
you mean
mail.
that notification mails?
Exactly. That can be sent using Logic apps.
Okay. So but
Okay.
data movement anyway ADF will do, right? So
ADF
logic
will do,
that.
but
Mhm.
Logic Hub also has that capability.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you. Arun.
So for the automation of some kind of activities, Logic apps are used. We'll be using it predominantly to send email alerts for pipeline success and failure. Okay. For data engineers, that's why I'm writing it here. For data engineers, these are the major services. These are the some add-on services Okay, this is some add-on services that if you will know, it will be good. If you don't know, that is fine. So because this is used for some automation kind of thing, like for sending email alerts, okay, or for moving data from SharePoint to data lake. Or there are many other use cases like copying data from SFTP to data lake. That can also be achieved using Logic App. That can be achieved using Data Factory as well, but that can be achieved using Logic App as well. If possible, try to try to achieve through Azure Data Factory. If not possible, then go to Logic App because Logic App is costly as compared to Data Factory. Sending mail alerts are not possible in Azure Data Factory. We need to create workflows in Logic App, and then we need to connect it with Data Factory to trigger the mails.
Arun, how the Logic app is costlier than IDF? Means
Okay.
any reason?
No, we have Azure Calculator. Okay.
Okay.
We have Azure Calculator. If you want to get idea over it, okay, you can simply type Logic Apps here. Okay. And you can easily, based on your uses, you can easily write here that what will be the configuration of Logic App that you will be using, and based on that, it will tell you the overall pricing that what charges you will be applied. But based on my experience, I'm saying that this Logic App is costly, and many people try not to use it if that activity can be achieved through another service
Okay,
because this
that
is
time only you'll
costly.
go for Logic app.
Yes.
Okay.
Because this is costlier than Data Factory service.
Okay. Okay.
Got my point?
Yeah, understood.
Yes. Okay. Okay, then we have this Azure keyword into picture, and this keyword will be used for storing password secretly. Okay, for storing password, like if you are writing code in Databricks notebook or Data Factory, wherever we are writing code. Suppose we need to connect SQL database from this Databricks notebook. So we'll be creating JDBC connection. There will be giving username and password. But that password will be exposed to end users, right? Whoever come and see my code, they will be looking at my password. That is not a safe thing. That is not a good thing, right? What is standard? Industry standard is that password should be hidden somewhere. Okay, that password should not be visible to everyone. Okay, so the purpose of this keyword is for saving your password secretly. Okay, we'll save our password in this keyword secretly, and then we'll be using that password by accessing this keyword. We'll be not using the exact password so that it is exposed to the end users. We will be using the reference of Azure keyword. That in Azure keyword, my password is stored at this place, so I'll be reading my password from that place. So that is the purpose of this Azure keyword. Now we have all these things. Okay, I want to highlight one more thing that is called Azure DevOps. Okay, this Azure DevOps will be used for deployment purpose for creation of CI/CD pipelines, for deploying pipelines from, like, we have multiple environments. We have multiple environments, right? Like development environment, then we have something called UAT environment, then we have something called UAT environment, then we have something called production environment. Okay. So in development happens and unit level testing happens. Then in UAT is a replica of this production environment. Okay, both these environment are at same level. Okay, it means everything is same. So in UAT, the final testing happens. If everything is good, then that pipeline is moved to production. Okay, so that will be achieved through Azure DevOps. In this Azure DevOps, CI/CD pipelines will be created to deploy your pipeline from development to UAT to production. Okay, so this was the whole thing. Okay, now again I want to talk around this storage part, okay, that I have written here. Okay, I want to talk around this storage part that I have written here, and I want to ask one thing. Okay, you see, Azure SQL database is also a storage. Azure Data Lake Gen 2 is also a storage. Okay, do anyone know what What is the difference between them? Both of them are the storage part, but there will be
Yeah,
some
yeah.
cases.
SQL database will store the structured
Very good.
process data,
Okay.
and whereas
Very
the
good.
data lake storage will store raw data as well as processed, curated, whatever it is.
Okay.
Any kind of data can be stored in the data lake.
Yes, yes. So this
Whereas
is
not
the very good, very good. Who is this?
Chandra here.
Who is this? Chanda?
Chandrasekhar. Yeah.
Chandra. Hi, Chandra. Very nice. So the major difference between these two is Azure SQL database can store only structured data, okay? And Azure Data Lake Gen 2 will be storing structured data and semi-structured data and semi-structured data and unstructured data as well. Unstructured data as well. Okay. So this data lake is capable of storing any kind of data, whereas this SQL database is capable of storing only structured data. This is the major difference. Any kind of data lake, okay, whether it is Azure Data Lake Gen 2, Azure Data Lake Gen 1, or Azure Blob Storage, all these three data lake is capable of storing any kind of data that we have. But this SQL database is capable of storing only structured data. Another thing is this data lake has no limitation on the storage. Right? As I said that we are dealing in terabytes of data, petabytes of data. Okay. We can store data of any size in data lake. There is no size limitation. We can keep on storing uh, data of any size, and based on the amount of data that you are using, you'll be charged by Microsoft Azure. We have a model, something called pay as you go. Okay, we have a model, something called pay as you go. It means you will be charged only for what you will be using. You will be charged only for what you will be using. You will be charged only for what you will be using. Okay, you will not be charged anything extra. Whatever amount of data you will be storing, for that you will be charged. There is no limitation on the storage size. You can store data of any size in your data lake. Okay. You see how much beneficial it became for industries. Now they don't have to maintain data centers, right? If today they have 2 petabytes of data, they have infrastructure to store their data. Tomorrow, now they have 4 terabytes of data. Now they will have to go to market and buy more infrastructure hardwares to store 4 terabytes of data. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, they have 10 terabytes of data. They will have to go to market and they will have to buy separate hardwares to store more data. But with these storage solutions that this cloud started offering, the limitation, I mean, this problem of companies got removed. Now they can just, if their requirement increases, they don't have to buy separate hardware. They will just contact Azure, Microsoft Azure, and they will take a data lake. They will start storing their data, and they will be only paying for data which they are actually storing. They will not be paying for anything extra. They will not be paying for any hardware as well. Okay. And once they have their usage is finished, they will just release those resources and then they will not have to pay anything after that. Okay. Okay. So this was all about all these things. 1 minute, my laptop is going to discharge, just allow me 1 minute. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So may I ask a question?
Yes, yes. Who's this?
Yes, my name is Varun. I just wanted to
Okay.
ask
Yes, sir. Hmm.
sir, would you talk about, would you talk a little on Delta Lake and time
Okay.
travel
Okay.
and load the balancing concept? Would that be covered in the course?
We.
One, uh, and one extra question. You
Hmm.
talked about Azure DevOps. Would
Hmm.
we be using that as well? And just extra thing is, are we also, apart from Azure services, are we also touching upon Snowflake, Kafka, and Airflow?
Okay. No, we'll not be touching Kafka, Airflow, and Snowflake. We
Okay.
will not be touching around it. We'll be restricting ourselves towards these services that I have written down here. These services are more than enough for you to land a good job.
Okay. And are we covering Delta Lake, time
Yes,
travel,
yes, yes, yes,
balancing, and Azure DevOps?
yes, yes. Azure DevOps we are covering for the deployment purpose,
Hmm.
deployment of
Okay.
pipelines built in Azure Data Factory and Azure Databricks, and
Okay.
Delta Lakes, load balancer, all are part of this Databricks.
Okay.
Autoloader, all those things. Delta Lake autoloaders, uh, time travel, all those things are part of this Azure Databricks. Here we will be dealing delta tables. Delta tables is very important thing. Without it, we can't we can't complete Azure Databricks.
Hmm. Yes.
Delta tables is game changer in the big data industry. Without this, we can't complete this Azure Databricks.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Anyone else has anything?
Arun, like you have described the overview of data, like initially uh, less data. Right now, data is going on increasing. So
Hmm.
big data being the solution for
Hmm.
storage and processing part. Like in
Yes.
this context, where does data warehouse stand? Is there any importance for data warehouse like Azure Synapse? Azure Synapse is one kind of data warehouse from Azure side, right?
No, actually, data warehouse is Azure SQL pool. Okay. Azure SQL pool. Okay. This is data warehouse in Azure. Data warehouse in Azure. Okay. Now we have something called Azure Synapse Analytics. Okay. This is in this Synapse Analytics is an integration of multiple technologies. Like we have, it is integration of SQL pool. In this Synapse Analytics, we have SQL pool as well. We have Azure Data Factory as well. Okay. We have ADLS Gen 2 as well. ADLS LS Gen 2 as well. We have ADLS Gen 2 as well. We have ADLS Gen 2 as well. And we have Azure Databricks as well. Okay. It means multiple services has been integrated at one place. Okay. Although this is costly, and this there was competition between this Synapse and Databricks, and Synapse could not compete with Databricks. That's why now Azure is coming with Microsoft is coming with a new service that is Azure Fabric. Okay, if you have heard of this word, this is right now in preview version. Okay, this is not officially launched by Microsoft. Let's see what happens. Okay, this Azure Fabric is in preview version. Microsoft will be launching it soon. Okay, let's see what happens. What kind of service is this? Okay, so this is the data warehouse of Azure actually. Okay, now since there are many services, data lake is here, SQL database is there, Databricks is there, Data Factory is there. All are separate services. So what Microsoft thought of bringing all these services at a single place. That is Azure Synapse Analytics. Okay, if you know all these things that we will be covering, knowing this is not a big deal. Okay, and these things are the most important thing. This data factory and data bricks. Okay, these are the most important thing. on the basis of which you will be landing your job. Okay. This Synapse is just an integration of all these services. Okay. And this is the SQL pool. This Azure SQL pool is actually data warehouse in Azure. And if you are talking about, where does this data warehouse come into picture, then in this ETL concept, okay, as the name suggests, extract, transform, and load. In this loading part, okay, let me write here, extract, transform, and load. In this loading part, okay, data warehouse come into picture. But, okay, but due to invention of this data lake, okay, due to the invention of this data lake and delta tables, okay, delta tables, the usage of this data warehouse has decreased. People are now storing their data into data lake, in the form of delta tables, because these delta tables support acid properties. Okay, these delta tables support acid properties. If I talk about database, data warehouse, okay, if we talk about this data warehouse, what is this data warehouse? This is nothing but OLAP system, right? Online analytical processing. Online analytical processing. Analytical processing. What is the main use case of this? What is the main use case of this? It is used to store the historical data. Okay, historical data. Okay, used to and process historical data. Okay, this is the use case of data warehouse. Now with the invention of data lake, okay, okay, now data can be stored here, right? Can be stored here, and when your data lake will be integrated with, let me write in this fashion. With the invention of this data lake, data can be stored here, and with the integration of this data lake with either Databricks or Data Factory, your data can be processed here, right? Your data can be processed. Your data can be processed here. In data lake, data can be stored, or let me write here clearly, historical data can be stored. And with the Databricks or Data Factory, your data can be processed here. Then do you think that we need data warehouse when I'm able to store as well as process data with the help of these two things, data lake and Databricks? Ganesh, are you understanding
Yes.
this thing?
Yeah, understanding. Can we understand this way, Arun? So necessity of data warehouse is being decreasing in the industry right now.
You can say, but one more thing. See, this platform is more suitable for coders.
Sir,
This,
Snowflake is also a data warehouse, right? So why
yes,
the
yes.
demand of that is not decreasing? It is only increasing.
No. You go and start comparing between and Snowflake and Databricks. Okay. You start comparing between Snowflake and Databricks. There were heavy competition between these two around 2019. And here Databricks emerged as the winner. Databricks emerged as the winner. There was heavy competition between Snowflake and Databricks around 2019 or 18. Okay.
Okay.
One thing I was going to tell, meanwhile you guys asked the question, that one thing is that this Databricks platform is mostly suitable for developers. Okay, is mostly suitable for developers. Okay, many kind of things. It depends on usability also. That what platform a company is going to use. Like if any business analyst want to use any extract data from any storage location. Okay, then of course it will be difficult for him to use this platform, right? So they will more prefer any data warehouse location or any SQL warehouse like a any data warehouse like a Snowflake where they can just query and get their data. Right? Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say? I'm talking from the perspective of user friendliness, who are non-technical guy, like business analyst, who just simply wants to, who doesn't know technology must, who simply wants to query the data and get the data. Are you getting this point? What I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So although there is a SQL warehouse launched by Databricks as well. This is that option. Okay. So this warehouse is also, I mean, now, this was not there in earlier versions of Databricks, like around 2018 or 19, this was not there. Okay. So here also in Databricks also SQL warehouse is present. So now people are using this also. SQL warehouse is present here in Databricks as well.
So Harun, what is the difference between the SQL pool and the SQL warehouse? If they, okay, they are bringing into the Databricks. Okay. But
No, no,
is
no.
SQL,
SQL pool is a separate thing. It is a separate
Azure,
server. Yes, yes.
Azure proprietary,
Yes, yes.
whereas SQL warehouse is in a Databricks. This is
Yes,
a
exactly.
Databricks
Right,
proprietary. Okay,
right.
but both are relative purpose only, right?
Yes, yes. Both are data warehouses.
Okay, okay.
See, there are
And
many kind of storage systems available. Okay.
mm,
That's why you really don't need to confuse. Just think that because technologies will keep on changing. To yesterday, Snowflake was there today. Day before yesterday, your SQL pool was there. Day before yesterday, Oracle Data Warehouse was there. Now Snowflake warehouse is there. Now Databricks warehouse is there. See, these things will keep on changing. Just you have to keep your base strong. The UI will remain same. You have to just write the query and get your data. You have to store your data. Okay. So just
okay.
keep the basics strong. Basics should be strong. If basic is strong, you can easily work on any technology.
Okay, and one question, Arun.
Yes, yes.
See, we have key vaults said, right? Like,
Hmm.
what is the purpose of Active Directory in Azure, or any difference, or both work
Okay.
similar?
Yes, yes. No. The uses of both are different actually. Okay.
Okay.
So you might be seeing that when you are going to joining a new organization, you are getting access to Teams, Outlook.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So what is happening? Your ID is getting added into Active Directory. Okay. From there, you are getting access to all the places. Okay.
This is specific to Azure only, right?
No. I'm just
Mhm.
giving you an example
Okay.
that what is the use case of Active Directory.
Okay.
Now you are writing code here. Okay. You are
Mhm.
writing your code here. Suppose you are trying to make SQL connection. Okay.
Okay.
You are writing code here, and in JDBC connection, when we write code for to create JDBC connection with SQL database, we need to give the user ID and password. Okay. So
Mhm.
password will also be written in this place. Okay.
Hmm.
So what if some other developer comes and sees the password? What if some unauthorized person comes and sees the password? This is not industry standard to expose the passwords in code.
Correct.
Okay. So
Mhm.
we'll be storing that password somewhere.
Correct.
Okay. We'll be storing that password somewhere and we'll be referencing that in our code so that in code I'm not directly writing the passwords. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Let me show you keyboard. Okay. You see how it is getting stored. Okay. Like suppose this is a SQL password. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Behind this, I have stored a password. Okay. You see, I have stored password here. This is the password I have stored here.
Hmm.
Okay. But I will not be writing this password if I'll be using this in my code. Okay. I will not be writing this password. What I'll be using, instead of directly using my this password, what I'll be doing, I'll be using this name, SQL
Correct.
password. Okay. I will
Hmm.
not be using the actual password. I'll be using this SQL password in my notebook to reference that password that is stored behind it.
Yeah, this is key vault, right? Key
Yes,
vault.
yes, this is keyboard.
So Active Directory for what? Uh,
Okay. Suppose we have this data lake. We have this data lake. Okay.
Okay.
You see, we have something called access control here. Okay. If I want to give access to this data lake to any person, okay, like if I show you what is my access, you see, I am administrator. If I want to give access to another user, okay, suppose I want to give any access like admin, like reader access I want to give, I will just select it. Okay, I will just select member from here. Okay. Okay. I don't have any member here right now. Suppose any member is here. Okay, like suppose I'm just writing this name. Okay, suppose this is to this member I want to give permission. So I will select it and I will give permission and I will just click next and next. So what is happening behind the scenes? I am adding this user in Active Directory to give permission on this data lake. Are you getting this point?
Okay. But this is in this access control IAM, is it?
Yes,
Active Directory means, or
yes.
it is a,
No, it is a different thing actually. It is a separate service. If I show you, it is a separate thing. Active Directory. Okay, my Active Directory has been renamed to Microsoft Entra ID. Azure Active Directory has been renamed to Microsoft Entra ID. Okay. You see, this is that Active Directory. Here the users are added.
Okay.
You see, this is that place.
So, for example, we can say like initial time the out of the all the people joined into the project. So all their names going to add here, and whatever the roles and the responsibilities we can they'll assign here through Active Directory.
Exactly.
Active Directory based the list we can going to use, and will provide the required access accordingly.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. So the use case of Key Vault and Active Directory are totally different.
Okay. And this course will provide us this DevOps CI/CD pipelines for all data engineering services, like the while creating the pipelines, right? Like I think the build pipeline or release pipelines we are going to create or something. So in that different kind of task you need to create, right? Like I think deployment purpose, some YML. I'm not that much familiar. So those for all components this all will cover, like
yes. We'll be deploying these things, Azure Databricks, Azure Data Factory, because in these two, Azure Data Factory, because on these two things, we majorly create our data pipelines. Data is not deployed. Okay.
No, data is okay. Data through it, it will travel through these components. That is okay. But the thing is, as part of creating pipelines, I think we require some other language scripting or something kind of, right? I think.
No. I will tell you how we can create that. You don't need to know anything else.
Full-fledged.
I will tell you how these CI/CD pipelines can be created for these two things, Azure Databricks and Data Factory, and how that will be deployed to our environments.
Yeah, my intention is, so after completion of this course, I can say that as per as a data engineer, so I can do my deployments through say CD pipeline, whatever the data engineering related active service.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else has anything to ask? You are free to ask. We have 10 minutes.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Who is this?
Sir, all these things will be covered in what time duration?
It will take around 2.5 months to cover all these things.
Okay. And sir, just as a fresher for the people who are entering IT as a fresher, so the certifications, there are some certification exams for the Azure, like I don't know that much, but are they necessary for freshers for an interview or?
See, I always recommend certification as the secondary thing. Okay. See why I am saying this, because I have seen 6-7 certifications in the resume of candidate, and I've taken more than 500-600 interview. And when we start asking question, they don't know even where that option is available. When I ask from where to run the pipeline in ADF, they don't know even the option. The certification becomes useless there. Okay, what is
Okay.
the use of that certification? What is the use of only the theory when you don't know how to work in industry? If we are not here to clear any board, pass any board exam with 90% or 95%. We are engineers, we have to solve the problem, right? If you know how to create the pipelines and all those things, certifications become useless. That is of no use. Are you getting my point? So my main focus is not to make you clear the certification. My main focus is to make you job ready, industry ready. How things go in the industry.
Okay.
Hi Arun.
Hi.
Actually, I'm having more experience, like around more than 13 years of experience.
Okay.
So if I learn this course, I'm able to survive in the project.
Easily, very easily.
Okay.
That is not a big thing.
And also, so with that experience, how much can I expect? Because current package is around 20K, 20 LPA.
Okay, easily
So
you can go 30, 35. These are
okay.
normal things, 30, 35, 40. It
Okay.
really depends on how you negotiate what companies you are getting. This is
Okay.
the topmost profile in the market. See, many people are thinking that this big word data scientist, but let me tell you, okay, I have worked in so many data engineering projects, and I have seen in a team working, eight data engineers are working and two data scientists are working. This is the scenario. Two data scientists are working. This is the scenario in the industry. Okay, so there is a lot of demand for this data engineers. And since this Azure is a Microsoft product, okay, Azure is a Microsoft product, so companies trust more on Microsoft, right? They are already using one or the other product of Microsoft, right? Like Office 365, Teams, Outlook, all those things the companies are using are of Microsoft. And the second thing is this Azure is a paid platform. That's why there are very few, I mean, there are not much people in the market who know Azure. Okay, this is another benefit for everyone. Like if people are putting effort into this technology, there are very high chances that they are getting result because of the shortage in the market. There is shortage of this skill set in the market. Shortage hai. There are shortage of this skill set in the market and demand is high.
And sir, are you offering placement assistance of this course?
No,
I
no,
mean, would you be
no. We
interview?
don't offer. You will really don't need any offer. You put you make a dummy resume for Azure Data Engineer. Put in Naukri.com, and you see how much calls you are getting. You
so
will
for
automatically
interviews,
know.
in the interviews, as per your experience, you'll ask like scenario-based questions or only directly is concept based of.
No, both kind of questions are asked. Okay,
Okay.
both kind of questions are asked. The thing is, you have to continuously keep on learning this technology until you land a job. Okay. See, interview is 50%, 50-60% of your hard work. 30-40% is your luck as well. Both the things are there. Okay.
Okay.
You don't know what the interviewer will ask. Okay. Sometimes the interviewer asks the problem that he itself has solved in 30 days, and he expects you to answer that in 5 minutes. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So what he's doing is just trying to reject you, nothing more than that. So
Okay.
you have to ignore those things. Okay. Just wait for the right time when the interviewer asks the questions, what you know. And with
And
each failed interview, take each failed interview as a mock interview and prepare those questions which you could not answer in this interview before sitting in the next interview. This is the thumb rule. Okay. Of course, I'm very much sure that you will get selected if you work hard.
Sir,
one more question I have, like with the 13 years of experience, how much experience I need to put on the Azure Data Engineering side
You can
as
put
per market?
2.5
Oh,
years.
okay. Okay.
2.5 years is more than this technology is not that much old. Okay. It itself boomed around 2018-19. Okay.
Okay.
1920, around 1920, it started booming. Around 2020, there were very less people. Okay. It ramped up around 2022 or 2021, you can say. I mean, there is not people in the market who has 7, 8 years of experience. There are very few people who has 5 years of experience in this technology.
Okay, okay. So that means after the cost, we can say that we have around 2.5 years of
Yes,
projects.
yes.
So, sir, accordingly, we have to do a certain number of projects to show that we have worked for 2.5 years. So how many projects are we going to work on
Yes,
that can
yes.
cover 2.5 years of work? Can you please explain?
We'll be working on projects. I'll be building projects in front of you. Okay, and you have to replicate those projects at your end too. And you have to write those projects only in your resume.
Yeah.
And
So how many projects are enough to cover 2.5 years of work? As you said, that Azure is actually relatively newer compared to AWS and all these technologies. So how many projects should we put end-to-end projects on a
see,
resume to
we'll be seeing many scenarios to create pipelines. I'll be creating pipelines in front of you more than 10, 15 pipelines I'll be creating in front of you. Okay. With a different scenarios. From that you can pick up 4, 5 projects, and you can pick up 4, 5 good projects and you can put in your resume. Okay.
So we will be doing 4 or 5 projects.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Is it a real-time scenario? Is it a dummy scenario?
Real-time scenario only. The only thing is the size of data will be not that much high. Okay.
And sir, one more question I have, as you said, Python, Scala, and R will be used for coding. So how much coding it required for data engineering?
Functional level. You should be able to write functions in Python. You don't need to learn all these languages. You focus on Python. Python I will not be teaching. Okay, you have to focus on Python. Okay, Python is the demanding language. Everyone working in other language is switching to Python. Okay, you have to learn Python. Python you need up to functional level. You should be able to define functions. That's all.
Okay, sir.
And Arun, one question. So we have a Azure free account, right? With that $200 US, they're going to give that. So can we use all these services like ADF, Databricks, AWS, and
All
SQL
services.
SQL
All
Server also
services.
we can create?
Yes.
So,
All services you can
so for 1 month, for example, if full-fledgedly ran for every day for 2-3 hours for a practice and all,
it will not be
at least
exhausted.
consider 5 hours. So
it will
the
not be
200.
exhausted. It will not be exhausted. Don't worry.
Okay.
It may be exhausted if you do
use
any
more.
No, if you do any other setting, what I am telling, the settings which I will be telling, please do that setting only. Otherwise, it will be possible that your that money that has been credited to you will exhaust in 1 week.
Okay. Understood.
You have to
So
do
you are using for a paid
No,
service,
I'm
might
using
be, I
paid.
think.
Yes, I'm
because
using
of
paid.
you are conducting every month, right? Yeah.
I'm
Understood.
using paid.
But you are going to guide us, right?
Yes.
That will help. Yeah. Thank you.
So if we do that setting, so we can use as many days, yes, right?
No, not as many days. 1 month, only 1 month.
1 month, okay.
I think every month we need to create a different cards, different accounts. Yeah.
Yes. So we'll be having around 2.5 months, 2 to 2.5 months. This is target, and you'll be needing 2 to 3 credit cards with you to learn this technology. Okay. See why very few people are there in this technology. This is one of the reasons that this is not free, and that's why people are not able to learn it. But you have to bring some hack. So we need 2, 3 credit cards, 1 credit card for 1 month, and we'll be learning with that credit card only. I use paid subscription, but I don't suggest you guys to use paid subscription because it may be possible that you will be charged more. Okay, let me show you what is my charges. Okay, so that you can get some idea. Okay, so in cost management, we can see the money that is getting deducted. Okay, once I was charged 1,20,000 in 5 7
God.
days.
My
And
God.
then my mind got blocked. Then I immediately contacted Microsoft, and Microsoft team was so helpful that they refunded my money. I mean, that
What was the problem? Why they charge that
uh,
much?
something was running behind some SQL Azure Data Factory. In Azure Data Factory, I used data flow, and I increased the cluster size.
Okay, okay,
That
okay.
was the problem. Okay, so let me show you the billing of previous month so that you can.
So they refunded complete 1 lakh, Arun?
They refunded.
Okay.
They refunded.
Need to more cautious, I think, while using.
See, okay, not this month. Let me show you for previous month. Okay, this month I have used this much amount only.
This is rupees.
2,000. Rupees INR. Okay,
Okay.
because I'm using
Will it
cautiously.
show in rupees? Usually it shows in dollars, right?
No, you can change language as well.
Okay.
You can change your language.
Mhm.
Or I have not said anything, but maybe it is picking the reason. Maybe you are using in your company, so there that your company will be of UK or USA, so currency will be based on that location. So for me, it is
And
coming.
Arun, is this continuous class on weekdays and weekends and all, or how is it? The class
Okay,
timings.
classes will be on weekends, Friday, Saturday,
Only.
Sunday, 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. So if next classes will be on Friday, it will start.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the billing. You can see like 146K. Okay, 1,46,000, and it is of last 3 months. So this much was my billing actually.
It is for 3 months,
Luckily,
is it?
for 3 months, like 1 lakh billing was by mistake. Okay, I told you that I by mistake turned on data flow
Okay.
cluster. I increased the size of cluster and it charged me that much. So I requested to Microsoft, and they thought that I told them that I'm using for landing purpose.
Well, we can. I think we can turn off, right? Once we, for example, once we practice it. So
Yes,
after
yes.
that, we can turn off. It
Yes,
won't get charged, no?
I forgot that actually. That's why this happened with
Okay.
1,46,000. This was the chance.
Arun, we should delete the resource group, right? Then all the services in that resource group would be deleted, right?
No. If you have resources, then you will not be charged. You will be only charged. I mean, charges happens and on multiple level. Okay. Like on data lake, charges happens that how much data you are storing, how much times you are accessing that data. Okay. Like from data factory, from database, you are reading data from data lake. So how much time you are accessing that data. In Databricks also charges happens at multiple level. Like for how much time your computes are turned on. What is the size of data that you are processing over that compute? Okay. So multiple parameters are there on which charging is done. And for that, we have this Azure calculator. If you want to get close insight on the pricing, you can just come here and you can start exploring. Okay.
Arun, for example, on daily basis, we are practicing for 1 hour. So once our practice is done, we can delete all the services, right?
No, you don't need to delete it. You will not be charged for it. You don't need to delete it. You will not be charged for that. Okay. You'll be only charged if your cluster is on. Okay. If your data is present in data lake, but the charges of data lake is very less. Okay. That is negligible. So you do not need to worry about. You just need to worry that your clusters are not turned on. If clusters are turned on either in Databricks or in data flow in Azure Data Factory, then you will be charged heavily. Are you getting my point?
Yes. Okay.
And in
So
SQL
you
Server,
would be teaching all those precautions while explaining
sorry.
the concepts. You would be teaching all those precautions while teaching the concepts, right?
Yes,
Like
yes,
what
yes.
options you do.
Yes. In SQL database also, there is one option in which if you don't use your SQL database, it will automatically turn off after 1 hour. So we enable that, otherwise SQL database has also little bit high charges, what I have noticed. So if we turn on that option, if you don't do anything in SQL database, that will be also turned off.
So what are the prerequisites, Arun, just to come and join
This
this?
SQL is mandatory. SQL is mandatory. Okay, I'll be sharing you, team will be sharing the syllabus with you in the WhatsApp chat. You can, I think syllabus would have already been shared with you. SQL is mandatory. Without this, you can't proceed. Okay. Python, if you know, you will always have an extra edge. Okay. Over other candidates. Even if you don't know, with that you can also, with SQL only you can also go. But if you know Python, okay, you will always have an extra edge over other candidates. Okay, but SQL is mandatory.
Okay. Like, can you share any syllabus of Python? Like what we need to aware of?
Okay. You can ask team. They have syllabus. They will be sharing with you. Okay.
Okay. One more thing, Arun. From the day one, we need Azure subscription to practice
Yes.
the concepts.
Exactly. From day one, we will be coming in Azure platform.
Okay.
So how much it will be costing for for beginners like us till the time we crack the interview? Like for if we practice for 2-3 months, how much will it be costing monthly?
Okay, that's what I said to you, that you don't need to take subscription. You take credit card. Okay, and with credit card it is free. Okay, with one credit card, 1 month. Okay, $200 is
That
credited to your account and 1 month.
so the debit cards won't work.
No, won't work. Debit card won't. Just arrange from your friends. Everyone does the same.
So
No,
credit
debit card.
card,
Debit card works. Debit card works.
No.
My subscription just got expired 1
Okay.
month back. It accepted the debit card. It does. It does accept.
Is it? Are you sure?
I'm 100%
Because
sure.
okay, thank you. Then it might be a new addition. Try once with credit card. If that works, nothing can be better than that. Okay. Earlier it was not
What is that
supporting.
debit card? Like Visa or which kind?
Normal Indian debit card. Anything HDFC, ICICI. I used I used ICICI.
Okay.
Great, great,
Visa.
great. It might be new addition. If that is working, that is great. Earlier it was not supporting, but he's saying that it worked, then might be a new addition to Azure. Then that is a very good thing actually.
Arun, is there
Yes.
any roadmap that you have, like what topics we'll be covering first and what next? Since
We'll be starting with Azure Data Factory.
okay.
Azure Data Factory. Okay. And simultaneously we'll be moving with Azure Data Lake, Azure SQL, Azure Key Vault.
Arun, do we need to create
Hmm.
any lake, or I think existing thing only we are going to use, right? Like SQL, ADLS, Gen 1 and Gen 2 something. That is
Yes,
called the
yes.
data lake only.
Yes,
Just
yes.
the usage and we are going to learn.
Yes, yes, exactly. Logic app. Then we'll be moving towards Databricks, Spark by Spark, or you can say. Okay, this will be the sequence in which will be moving. These things will be moving parallelly. Okay, and these are, you can think of it as a subsidiary things. These subsidiary things will be integrated with Data Factory, as well as this subsidiary thing will be integrated with Databricks.
Arun, we would be covering Azure Event Hub.
No, Event Hub will not be covering.
While creating like a trigger, once I tried for creating a trigger, it got failed, showing the reason that the trigger should be configured
Okay, okay.
First event hub should be configured, then only.
No, there is okay. There is one mistake which you would have done. At subscription level, we need to enable the event grid actually.
Okay, yeah, event grid. Yeah, I got
Yes.
that issue.
It's not event hub actually, event grid actually. At subscription level, you need to create event grid. You need to register for event grid actually.
If that option is on, I would not be getting this error.
No, you will not get error.
Okay.
You need to register event grid in your subscription.
Okay. Like you would be covering that thing as well.
Yes. There we go. Okay, so this is the whole syllabus. Okay, this is the whole syllabus that we will be going through. You can take this from team. All the team will be sharing this syllabus with you all. Okay, this is the whole syllabus. Whole syllabus has been mentioned here in this PDF. ETL concept, Spark, Databricks, Data Lake, Data Factory, deployment, keyword, logic app, SQL Server. We'll be doing some of the software installation, like we'll be installing MySQL in our system. SSMS. We'll be installing Azure Data Studio and we will connect that with Azure SQL Server. We'll be installing Azure Storage Explorer and we will connect with ADLS Gen 2. So all these things we will be covering as part of this course. Okay. So now let's wrap up and do let me know or do inform the team if you have any doubt and you want to ask me, or if there is any generic doubt, then team can answer that they will be answering you.
Arun, one
Okay.
more thing, like you would be getting recordings and everything, right?
Yes. So in OneDrive, you will be getting recordings. Sessions will be happening on Teams, and that recording will be with you for 1 year.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So you will be providing all the materials like interview preparation and
Yes.
kind of things. Okay.
Yes, I will provide. Do anyone has anything else to ask? Anything coming in anyone's mind?
Small doubt
No.
regarding Databricks. Like, so we would be learning PySpark, but Databricks would be the UI to manage PySpark, right?
Exactly, to write PySpark codes.
Okay, so Databricks will act like a GUI
Yes.
do our
Exactly. Right. Perfect.
And Arun, one question. See, for example, my case, we worked in some kind of Spark and Scala integration or Python integration. So done in some kind of project to transform the data. That will be like through SBT, we build some jar files and all. So that deployment also we can keep somewhere, right, in the Databricks kind of. So we can call that as a what we can call main class or something kind of in the Databricks and all. So entire code will be in a package that can be called and run that in Databricks. That kind of also.
We'll be writing Python functions and we'll be calling.
No, that is okay. That is okay. See, for example,
jar files will not be seen. Jar files will not be seen.
No, not like that. For example, so huge project. So we are going to implement in a this PySpark or Scala Spark, whatever it may be. We have done in multiple methods. We created classes, functions, whatever it is we have done, and so all will be created in a SBT project something. So that project.
What is this SBT? What is SBT?
It's a build tool, something SBT, Maven, we have something, right?
Okay, Maven.
So
okay.
Maven or SBT, these are all build things which will come in a project.
Okay.
So once we done project in that, so entire code will be kept in some DBFS files or something in a Databricks somewhere, and we can call that in a Databricks and then run this scripts and all. So that kind of things will get covered here.
No, that
at least for some sample kind of.
No,
but
we'll
usually
not be covering that thing.
That is a part of also data engineering things, right?
I mean, the usability increase. I mean, there is no it. This is science.
Okay.
Anyone can
No, no,
implement
just any sample
anything.
kind of thing. It will be covered here, or how we can do that, or kind of.
No, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe you are talking about creating package and putting that in DBFS
Yes,
and
yes, correct,
calling
correct,
that
correct.
in Databricks.
Yeah,
No, we will not be covering that. We'll be writing functions in Databricks notebook and we'll be directly calling functions from there.
So can't we cover that for if required?
Yes, I will see if I get time. I will create content for that, but I will
Not
not
much
commit right now.
functionality, any small
Okay.
functionality which will occur through that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that package function we are going to call in the Databricks
Okay.
notebook. But we will
Okay.
keep that as a package and somewhere in the.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me write it down.
But
Yes, we
but
can.
in a real time way, actually, I experienced that actually. I'm also already started working on this, but not an expert. But I'm working on this from for some years.
Where are you working?
I'm
Where are you
working for
working?
BP, British Petroleum client.
Okay, nice. Pune?
No,
Pune?
Bangalore,
Okay.
Bangalore.
Nice company.
So for Databricks, whatever you written in the functions in the Databricks, you can show me that deployment process also, right? For Databricks.
Yes.
Yeah, why I asked Arun, so in a realistic way, so this kind of also there are huge
yes, some people
functionality
they
have written
got your point. Some people are using this. They are creating package and putting them into jar package and they are calling in Databricks.
Yeah, at least for our case, at least for a case scenario, or like one method or one function in the package class or something. So that package, that jar file or whatever, we are going to put it into the
got your point.
Databricks. Yeah, something
got your point. I got your point.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I will cover it.
Okay. Yeah, that's it from our end. But nice session. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Nice talking to you. Anyone else has anything?
Arun, on daily basis, like, can you recommend like what time we need to use to for upskilling purpose? Like, since 3 days would be classes, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
I will be giving assignment to you now.
Okay. Like on daily basis, if we give 1 hour, it would be sufficient down the line for the course.
What you are asking, I'm not getting. Can you please come?
So daily, if we give 1 hour or 1.5 hour for upskilling, will
see,
it be?
Yes, but see, that really depends. See, I'm giving one statement. Okay, just remember this. Just devote as much as time you can and grab the job as soon as possible. Okay, whatever time you have, you just devote it. Don't spend 1 or 2 years on learning this technology. Let's keep on learning. Let's see when I'm getting the job. Learn this at very high speed and try to grab the job as soon as possible. Don't keep this in your mind for years that I have to go into Azure Data Engineering. Because time is value, right? So you have to learn this at as much pace as it is possible, whatever time you have. Okay. Learn with speed, get into industry, learn there. Okay. Don't 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 run. I mean, don't learn very much slowly, because what happens generally, people lose confidence, or as time passes, people start thinking that this is not achievable by me. Okay. Or they start thinking that no, this technology is not demanding, that technology is demanding, let's move to that technology. Okay, when they go to that technology, then they start thinking, no, this technology is not demanding, let's change the technology. In that process, they keep on changing the technologies, and they never get to stick to one technology. Okay, due to which they never get the result. Are you getting my point, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, just give as much as time possible you can, as much as time you can give. Okay, this is the best thing which I can say to you. Okay, give as much time as much you can give, and try to get the result as soon as possible. Don't live in procrastination that I will do it tomorrow, I will do it day after tomorrow. That tomorrow will never come. Okay.
Yeah, one more doubt I have.
Yes, you can.
Actually, someone from one of my friend from IT industry, he told
Hmm.
me that whether you learn Azure or AWS or GCP,
Hmm.
so if you have learned any one of them, you can work
Hmm.
on you means it's simply you have learned all of them because
Hmm.
there is a slight change in the platform, that's it. But the basic concepts are the same. So is that true
Hmm.
that if we learn Azure, then we can work on any other also cloud
You
platforms?
are from where, second? I mean, from which location you are? I mean,
Sir,
from
I'm
where
from
you?
Jaipur.
Okay, so you have done your BTech from there. You are facet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. See, few things he had said, right? That cloud platforms are more or less same. They are more or less same in terms of uses. Okay, you just simply think of Android phone and or OnePlus Android and MI Android. Both are Android. They do same work, right? Everything is same, but there are something different in both of them. Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, so you know AWS, it doesn't mean that people will hire you in Azure. Okay, it doesn't mean,
Okay.
but there may be possibility that they can hire you in Azure if you know AWS. Okay, but it's not sure because it might be possible that they might be looking for someone who can immediately come and start working. I don't need to train him or I can't give him time to learn. Are you getting my point? What I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, and this happens in industry. People look for immediate joiners who has knowledge on this skill set. Yes, that is true. I mean, everything is present in every cloud platform. Like in Azure, we have ADLS Gen 2. In AWS, we have Amazon S3 bucket as the data lakes. In both the cloud platforms, the data lakes are present, but the functionality, the options, okay, all those things will keep on changing. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
That is the thing.
Arun, sorry to ask again. This
Yes.
in Azure, for example, ADF or Databricks, ADF or ADLS. So the subscription and resource group are mandatory, right? For that. So apart from that, anything else? I just want to create something before starting to keep up ready. So if I create a subscription resource group and some storage account, so will it charge anything before
No, no,
start
no,
practice? No, right?
no,
I
no,
can go
no,
ahead and
no.
create these three only, right? Required
Yes,
right
yes,
now.
yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
okay, okay. Thank you. That's
You
it.
can
Thank you.
start. Okay, do anyone has anything else to ask?
Do we need to learn Power BI for this?
If you know, that is good. If you don't know, that is don't you don't need to worry. That is a different profile. That is profile for data analysts or BI developers. Subham, are you clear with this?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. There we create visualizations. You don't need to know that. If you know, that will be a plus point in your resume. But for data engineering skill set, you don't need.
And could you please tell us what is the difference between data engineer and DevOps engineering?
Okay. So data engineers are responsible for these two things. Okay. Data engineering is responsible for, as I said, as I explained, that the size of data is increasing day by day. So the role of data engineers are to store data in proper way. Okay. Process data in efficient way. Okay. Process data in efficient and automated way. Okay, like daily data is coming to companies, so you need to build data pipelines to process that data, right? The size of data is increasing, it is in petabytes. Okay, 10 petabyte, 20 petabyte. Of course you need to maintain that in a proper manner, otherwise if after 2 years companies will start looking for data. Where is that data? Okay, where is that sales data? Where you will start looking for that data? in my downloads, my data is stored in this fashion. I don't remember where is which file is which one. I don't remember. I need to properly arrange it, right? I need to properly store it. Okay. So these are responsibilities of data engineer. They need to store the data in proper way. They need to process the data in efficient and automated way. Daily data is coming. Automatically my pipeline should be triggered. Okay. Automatically my pipeline should be triggered, and my data should be processed and kept at a destination. These are the rules of data engineers. But when I talk about DevOps, okay, when I talk about when we talk about DevOps, okay, when we talk about DevOps, then the work of DevOps is to deploy. We have three environments. Development environment. So in this development environment, data engineers will be developing data pipelines. Okay. Development environment. Okay. Development environment. Okay. Environment. In this development environment, data engineers will be developing pipelines, data pipelines. Okay. Then once the development is done, once data engineers has done these two things in development environment, then he will be deploying that pipeline to UAT environment. Unit acceptance testing. Okay. Unit acceptance testing. Unit acceptance testing. Once development has been done, that pipeline will be moved to UAT environment, and here final testing will happen. Okay. Final testing of pipeline will happen that yes, my pipeline is working fine. Then it will be moved to production. Okay, production environment, where my pipeline will actually be running after testing is completed from UAT environment. Then we have three environments. Okay, we have three environments. So my pipeline will be developed here, then that will be moved to UAT environment. Here testing will happen, and then that will be moved to production environment. Okay, here it will be running. So my pipeline will be moving from development environment to UAT environment to production environment. And this movement of data pipeline are done by CI/CD pipelines. Okay, are done by CI/CD pipelines, and creation of this CI/CD pipelines. Creation of this CI/CD pipelines are job of DevOps engineers. Shubham,
Yes, sir.
are you getting this?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
asked
sure.
this question, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Pipelines are job of DevOps engineers. Okay, clear, right? Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I hope that this session was helpful to you and you guys have cleared a lot of doubts. It has been 2 hours. Now let's wrap up for today. And you can connect with team if you have any doubt, and if you want to connect with me, you can just inform team that you want to talk to me. Then we will connect again. The program will be starting from 1st of March. If you want to enroll, you can connect with the team. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Take care. Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Arun.
thank
Yeah,
you.
Thanks.
thanks,
Thank you.
Arun. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.